Hey, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about 3 ways to increase your happiness. In the last video I talked about depression, so I thought this video I would talk about something a little more enlightening or with a little more light and levity, and that's our happiness and joy. We could all use more happiness. And we have people in our lives where we know people who are just naturally happy. Maybe we're not, or maybe we like more happiness in our life, and maybe you've been told happiness is just a choice, and it is. But I don't think it's that simple. You just choose to be happy. There are people that do it. Maybe you're like me and you've struggled with being happy. Not that I'm unhappy, not that I'm sad, but maybe it's enjoying little moments or finding happiness throughout the day. And I want to be a happy person. We want to be around happy people. I want more joy and happiness in my life. And for me, it's easy to say, well, happiness is just a choice. I can choose to be happy. I know that. I know I can make that choice, but I want to give you 3 ways today that will help you make that choice easier. And when you make that choice, you'll actually have something to do to make that choice easier, to steer you right into happiness, to create happiness momentum, so to speak. Because happiness is available to all of us, and we can have more happiness in our life with just a few simple exercises that all of us can do. I don't care if you're a pessimist, an optimist, somewhere in between, a realist. That's what I consider myself, right in between. Here's 3 things I use to be a happier person, because I want to be happy. I want to be happier more often. I want to experience joy. I want to enjoy life. 3 things I do. Number 1 is I build anticipation into my life regularly. Anticipation is a powerful chemical, a powerful drug in our brain. When we're anticipating something, we have a heightened sense of happiness. We're looking forward to something, and that makes us happy. It brings joy to our life. When we have anticipation, it also diminishes some of the routine, frustrating things we deal with, sad things, bad things. We all have things happen throughout our day, our week, and our month that we don't like. Bad breaks, or just dealing with a negative person or a difficult person, or things don't go our way. Things can't be perfect all the time. I find when I've got things to look forward to, things that I like, the anticipation, it diminishes some of the bad things because you have things that you're looking out into the distance, like playing a movie in your head. For me, I love backpacking. I love hiking. I love travel. I'm building these trips into my calendar throughout the year. I break it down by quarter, and I always have something to look forward to. And if you don't have something to look forward to, find something you like. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be far away. Sometimes travel for me is right here in my town of San Diego. Sometimes it's just going up to Long Beach to see family members. Other times it's going to Seattle or taking a backpacking trip. I'm hopefully taking a very long backpacking trip this summer. I'm already looking forward to it. I've got anticipation. This could be for an art class that you want to take. This could be for a visit, a coffee date. You know what you like to do, and what we like to do when we do things we like with people we like, it increases the joy and happiness in our life. We enjoy life more, and we can get more of that by having things to look forward to. So get out your calendar right now and build some anticipation into your calendar so you have mental things to look forward to, and that'll diminish some of the bad things, some of the sadness, some things we all deal with on a regular basis. Anticipation is the first way, guaranteed, to increase happiness. Make this part of your life. The number 2 thing I use to increase happiness, this is a conscious choice. We talked about happiness is a choice. Well, it's also a conscious choice to work on happiness and to do things that bring you happiness, not just making the choice that I'm going to be happy. That doesn't work for all of us again. So things I do to help that along. Number 2 is reminiscing. Reminiscing is thinking fondly about the past. It's thinking about past events in a positive way. This isn't about dwelling on the past. It's not about living in the past. It's not about regrets. It's about thinking something you went through, about something you went through in the past in a fond way, in a happy way, a joyous time, something you enjoyed. This could be as simple as a ride on a roller coaster. For me, I talked about backpacking. I can relive a backpacking trip in my mind and walk through each of those days. This also helps with anticipation, but reminiscing has been scientifically proven to lower your blood pressure, lower your heart rate, to elevate feelings of joy and satisfaction, and to help distract you from anything negative going on in your life. Reminiscing, taking a few minutes, call it daydreaming. And I've been doing this my whole life. What I didn't realize, there's actually a name for it called reminiscing. Well, you can do it purposely. And I do this in some of the workshops that I do. And it's arguably my favorite part of any workshop at any time is when I take 5 minutes and have everybody in the crowd reminisce. And people that actually do it, I have them close their eyes and walk through something in their past. It could be a year ago, a month ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Remember something in the past fondly and relive it. And when you do this, really tap into the senses. I think about the first time I bought a new car. I bought a new truck when I was 20 years old. It was a Toyota truck. It was a beater. I mean, it was brand new, but back then, stock trucks were stock trucks. I mean, it didn't have anything in it. But the smell of that, there's this first sense. The feeling of the steering wheel and the vinyl seats. It had vinyl seats. What I saw, the windshield, the interior was all new. What I heard from the car starting, the truck starting, the door closing. All of these senses, what I felt at the time. The sights, the sounds, the smells. I didn't taste anything in the car, but you know what I'm talking about. When you reminisce, the more you can tap into your senses of sight, smell, taste, hearing, feeling, both touching and what you felt, that'll really enrich the reminiscing experience. Do yourself a favor. Every day, whether in the morning, evening, anytime, you could do this in a boring meeting. Just take 5 minutes and reminisce. Think about the past in a fond way or a past event fondly and relive it in your mind. And that is guaranteed, scientifically proven to be good for your mental and physical health and to improve your happiness. And finally, the third way or method or strategy I use to increase happiness. By the way, all three of these things you can do today, but they're like a hammer. If you swing a hammer, it's powerful, a powerful tool, but if you lay it on a table, it doesn't do anything without you. Like all the training I do in these videos or on my podcast, Limitless, which is free anywhere you get podcasts, they only work if you swing them. These tools only work if you actually put them in play. But these three things I'm giving you today, you can do them today and they will start to work right away. A prescription for happiness and joy. The third thing I use is gratitude. In 2010, I was in a rut. There really wasn't anything wrong with my life. Nobody had cancer. Nobody was dying. My job was good. I was paid well. I was living in San Diego. But I just felt like every day was the same. I felt like every day was blah. And this feeling went on for several weeks. I just was in a rut. I can't fully describe it. Maybe you've been there. And maybe things have put you in a rut. But I was talking to a friend and I confided, I just feel like I'm in a rut. Every day's the same. I was kind of cranky. When he had noticed, and he said, I think you need some gratitude. And I was offended. I was taken aback. What do you mean I need gratitude? I say, thank you. I open doors for people. What do you mean I need gratitude? I asked him, what does that mean? What do you mean I need gratitude? He said, you'll figure it out. And he got up and walked away. And I thought, screw you. I need gratitude. What are you talking about? But it planted a seed. And I went on Google and I typed in gratitude. And one of the first pages that came up was an actual study on gratitude and thankfulness by the University of Miami and the University of California, Davis, a joint study. They took two groups of people. They separated them. And after 3 weeks, Group A came back and they experienced some really cool things. Group A, after 3 weeks, exercised more frequently, made more progress towards important goals, spent more time with family members, experienced more daily joy. Negative things that happened to them or occurrences or interactions didn't bother them as much. They helped people in need. All of these really cool benefits happened after this three weeks to this Group A. Group B didn't get any of the benefits. So what was the difference? Well, Group B, they said, just go live your life for 3 weeks and come back. So they took a survey and took it again. There was really no change. They didn't experience any extra benefits. Group A, what did they do in this study? They wrote down 3 things they were grateful for every day. That was it. That was it. They did that for 21 days and experienced immense benefits. And my first response to that was, what a bunch of crap. How could that possibly work? In fact, I like to prove people wrong. It kind of drives me. I thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. 3 things I'm grateful for, 21 days. Can't hurt, but it's certainly not going to help. That's just ridiculous. And I went to the store, a bookstore at the time. Bookstore still existed, and went to buy a journal. I'm looking for the journal. I may still have it around here. But the journal was like $30. I didn't want to buy a journal, so I thought just buy a cheap notebook at Target. But I went back to the office, notebookless, and on my desk was a FedEx package from one of my mentors, a guy named Darren Hardy, who sent me this envelope and FedEx, and I opened it, and it was a journal, one of those really nice $30, $40, $50 journals. And he just wrote a nice note in there that said, I thought you could use somewhere to keep your best ideas. So I thought, oh, well, this is a sign. So I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for, except I added a 4th every day about my wife. Well, after about 7 days of writing these 4 things down I was grateful for, I started to run out of things. And especially about my wife, I ran out of things. I could still feel it. I had this wave of guilt. How could I be out of things to be grateful for about my wife? And I was in my bedroom, where I'm at right now, in my office bedroom. And she came out of the shower, and it smelled like Bath and Body Works from the body wash. It just smelled like flowers. And when I take a shower and come out, it doesn't smell like flowers. But right there, I had it. I was grateful for the way she made the shower smell with her fragrances. And every day I started to look for things and find things to be grateful for all around my life. And at some point, about 2 weeks in, I realized that was the whole point. To look for things to be grateful for, because when we look for things, we find them. When you look for what's wrong, you find it. And I believe that's one of the biggest reasons for divorce. We look for what's wrong in our spouse and we find it. But when you look for what's right, you find that too. And what this exercise did was it got me looking for the positives in life and happier and more joy, looking for what was right and what to be grateful for. And when you look for these things, you find them. And after 21 days, I think it's like losing weight. Maybe if you lost a little weight, you don't notice, but people around you start to notice. And I was having a meeting with someone at work, and it was a very good meeting. And we had came up with some ideas. I said, wow, you have a lot of energy. What's gotten into you? And the gal said, it's not me, it's you. You're fun to work with again. I don't know what you're doing, but don't stop. And it hit me. It's writing down 3 things I was grateful for, 4 things for me. And then here's where it really solidified. And I'm going to open a drawer here and probably make a little noise. But my daughter was young at the time, maybe 6 or 7 years old. And she came home from a children's birthday party. And it was one of these parties at a pizza place where they get these trinkets and toys. And she had this little bag of trinkets and candy. When she got out of the car, I went out to see them when they pulled up. My daughter was excited to see her. She'd been gone for a few hours. And she got this toy whistle. She was outside and she put it up to her mouth. And as she put it up to her mouth, she looked at me with judging eyes, knowing what I would say, that I would say, don't blow that in the house. I don't want to hear that. Don't be loud. She knew all these things I would say. She knew my habits and tendencies. But as she put it to her mouth, this exercise of gratitude, it hit me like a wave. You know, people's life flashed before their eyes. All these things flashed before me as she put the whistle to her mouth that I was grateful she could hear. I was grateful she was home. I was grateful I had a daughter that loved me. I was grateful to be alive. I was grateful she had friends. All these things hit me. And as she put the whistle to her mouth, I said, you like that whistle, don't you? And she stopped. She was taken aback. She was stunned. She thought I would say, don't blow that whistle. Don't take it in the house. But instead, I just said, you like that whistle, don't you? And she said, I do. I said, I'm glad. I'm glad you like it. Because I was just grateful. And she looked at me and she said, do you want it? So win-win. She never blew the whistle in the house. And since that day, I have owned this whistle. It goes with me wherever I travel, wherever I go, to remind me there's always something to be grateful for. My friends, when you apply gratitude and just write down 3 things you're grateful for, and I would invite you to write down 4, the 4th thing about somebody you care about or love, maybe they're not even here anymore. When you write down 3 things you're grateful for 21 days, your happiness is guaranteed to increase, and you'll experience benefits that even I don't know that you could experience, because I know it happened to me. So those are the 3 things. If you want to increase happiness in your life, happiness is a choice, but let's help that choice. Number one, work some anticipation into your life on a regular basis. Have something you're looking forward to diminish some of the sad things and have something happy to look forward to. Number two is reminiscing. Call it daydreaming, but reminiscing is thinking about the past fondly or a past event in a fond way. Tap into the senses and just spend a minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes reliving the past, not living in the past, not regretting, but thinking about something positive, scientifically proven to make you happier. And then number three is gratitude. You can look up that study yourself. I believe it was research on or a study on gratitude and thankfulness by the University of Miami and the University of California, Davis. You can see all the benefits, but writing down 3 things you're grateful for every day for 21 days, prove it wrong. Maybe it won't work for you, but I think it will. And I'd love to see you prove it wrong. I'd actually love to see it make you happier. That exercise did amazing things for my life, and it can do amazing things for your life. If you like this course, like it, subscribe, tell somebody about it, and check out my podcast. It's free wherever you get your podcast. It's all audio. It's called Limitless. I hope you go out there and have a great day, and I hope you find some things to be happy about, and we'll catch you next time.